Hello friends, and welcome back to Vintage Machine-Made Marbles. In this video we welcome David Tamulevich, and we're going to look at Heaton and Bogard Cat Eyes, right? And in most cases it's really nearly impossible to tell whether it was made from Heaton or Bogard.
Because Bogard brought out Heaton in 1971 but kept the machine.
Yeah.
So he was running marbles on the same machine, the Heaton.
Yeah.
Just different crucibles. Crucible would wear out and they put in a new crucible.
That's true.
But
other than that, same machine, same factory.
these are real distinctive because you see these bags up here. They have a Heaton label underneath, but a Bogard label stapled to the top. When Bogard bought out Heaton, there was a stock of Heaton bag cat eyes. And what Bogard did was he just stapled his own label over them. They're pretty rare to find. But the great thing about it is we know that these cat eyes were made by Heaton. I bought some of these years ago and a guy said, yeah, I bought 35 bags of these and a couple of the bags had split open and I'll send you the loose marbles because I always hate to open the bags. Yeah. Green cat eyes with a black.
Right, black fins, black and green fins.
And then these bubbly,
look the Halloween types that they call. Yeah, a lot of them end up looking more like a patch than a cat's eye, right?
Right.
And you see those with the orange and the white too. There's another one with the orange and the white.
So my thought had always been that these marbles in particular, had been made by Bogard.
Okay.
Because these are, Bogard bags, and there's one.
There's one right there.
Halloween right in there. Here's a Bogard bag with the Halloween marble in it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have the Heaton underneath. And he did make cat eyes, probably not for a long time, but he made them. So this kind of, throws a question into our understanding of who made it, because there they are. Were there any bulk marbles left at Heaton? I believe there were, and Dave McCullough thinks there might have been.
Oh, it's not. How times have changed.
So here are those are
old Heaton, right?
Well, those are. I think these are all Jacks.
Well, okay. But if you notice what I said,
Said they're old Heatons. I got it.
So here. Now these.
now I'm not saying Jack didn't make them, but when I first looked at them, and without seeing the Bogart and stuff like that, I would have said they were Heaton. Well, see, Jack probably did use the same crucibles and stuff at one time. But Bill used to make some pretty decent cat eyes. See this defined lines in that?
Yeah.
It's more of a true cat eye look.
The types that have that Halloween, they nickname them Halloween, sort of.
Like that.
They're like these.
The wispy type.
Yeah,
that's more like type. You get that. What you get there is someone threw a chunk of white in. I would say, more than likely, I've seen that happen in industrial. When you run industrial glass and you got chunks of white glass and they start in the tank, and it just bleeds out. It'll do it for a short period of time, just feeding out.
The Halloweens became a nickname by collectors for the marbles with at least 2 of the 3 colors with an orange, black, and white color combination. Not to be confused with similar marbles such as the breathtaking Master Tiger Eyes or the cage-style Vacor de Mexico Jaguars.
More than likely, it was a very short-lived. It's like when I'm running these, you'll see 3 or 4 different changes within a matter of one tray of marbles.
And we can see we have about 10 general colors that they worked with. Most notably are these beautiful royal blues that they had. And it's pretty distinctive. Actually, their deeper blues, their yellows, and their oranges are some of the best colors out there for American cat's eyes. Their blacks and their oranges seem to show a lot of bubbles, more than their other marbles. We've got a bunch of hybrids here in the oranges. Their yellow cat's eyes are often very bright and canary in color. They also had more of a tangerine color. These four here, you notice these look a little different because there's actually like a champagne pink color that they're using there. And you can see how different it looks against the whites. I'm thinking they're pretty hard to find. A lot of greens in here. Occasionally you can find them with aventurine. I don't think I have any. Construction on most of these are 4-veined, and they're very paper thin veins. They may or may not reach the surface of the marble. Often there's a twist in them. They also made banana cat's eyes, which are more unusual to find. And then they had their standard plus sign construction. If we spin a marble here, we can see that open vent every time we do a quarter turn. And that's very typical of Heaton Bogard. There's the vent, you spin it, there's another vent. It goes all the way around. It's got an open core. You can't really often notice it looking at it cross-section wise, but if you tilt it, you'll see that. In contrast, the Marble Kings won't show that opening. It'll be solid all the way through. And Vitros can also show an open vent, but normally they're 5-vein cat's eyes, and their veins are usually thicker. They have a wider color spectrum, showing more pastel colors. And on average, the Heaton Bogards are much harder to find than the Marble Kings and Vitros. I wouldn't say they're rare, but you certainly don't see these as much as you see Marble King and Vitro.
Bogard Onionskin. Jack wanted to see if he could create an onionskin marble, which is an old handmade,
yes,
using a machine. So he had somebody come in, one of the old marble guys, I can't remember his name right now, but they produced these marbles, and you can, that are basically as much like onion skins as you can get. It's
right.
Green and white and a clear base.
I see.
And Jack,
there's a couple right there,
could not sell these.
I see.
He couldn't sell them for like half a penny profit. And the only place I've ever seen these onion skins are in these Mountaineer shooter packs.
Okay.
And they're not in every pack.
Yeah.
Just some of them.
Right.
But they're incredibly rare. What it seems like a lot of the marble guys always wanted to do is they didn't want to just copy. They wanted to do something different. Like the Vitro and the Cat Eye, they made the cage cat eye.
I'm messing around. I've yet to see a clear, clean-cut photo of these onion skins in the Mountaineer shooter pack, so we're going to open one of these up today. We're going to take one for the team. I do not recommend this at home. We all know that we lose the value of the blister packs when we open them, but this is for science sake. Drum roll. There it is. Let's see what we have. This marble has a clear base with very faint, transparent green stripes and opaque white stripes. Lots of bubbles. We're going to take some really good photos of these, and we'll take some photos of the others through the blister pack. Well, there isn't much definition between the transparent colored glass and the clear glass on these. They almost seem like they're fused together on some examples. These are all coming in at 9/16 of an inch. And yes, they do look an awful lot like those masters, especially the brushed patches and those wispy European Whistler types.
I'll tell you, honest God truth, back in the day, Jack Bogard used to take a lot of the washouts from Champion. Like if you look at this, the solid ones.
Okay.
I'm not so sure that those, wouldn't have been somehow blended in from,
Just mixed in with the bags. Let's look at a few marbles that were dug at the Heaton Bogard site that are a little unusual. This one has a snaky pattern. This is a blue-gray and an orange.
Yeah, that is just great.
All right, here's a same color combination with more of a true cat's eye. Here's a really cool one. It just sort of looks like a bat or something.
Right.
Yeah, that was dug. This is a nice one with orange with black tips on it. The double ingot.
Oh yeah. Look at the intensity of that blue.
Yeah.
Those are distinctly Heaton Bogard, and that is what is in the middle here. I mean, there's not a lot of it, but that's the blue that is in the middle of the orange cat eye.
Here's one that was dug that has like more of a moony translucent base, which is most likely a mistake. And here's some more banana shapes. There's one in orange. You see them in white and blue. Oh, and you had a bunch of these, right?
Yeah. So here's some marbles I'm particularly fond of. These orange cat eyes with a blue center. They were dug at the Heaton Bogard site. And yeah, it's kind of hard to see the blue, but they're very unusual. And there's one with a whole lot more blue in it. I love these things, especially because they're so unique.
They didn't run too much solid glass at Bogard. They weren't into that. They were into industrial glass, which is usually a clear glass.
I forget what we called these. On the northeast side of the building, the Heaton building, there were a whole bunch of these. Yeah,
Heaton sulphides is what I've learned.
But these were Bogards.
Oh, Bogard sulphides.
Because these were on top of the ground when in 1995 when I went there. So, but I think those are just so cool.
Yeah, they're really special marbles. I got a couple. Those are nice big chunks there. Yeah. Here's some sulphides, bubbly marbles, and other strange curiosities found dug mostly at the Heaton Bogard site. Peculiar pieces with furnace bits suspended in time, looking like frozen moon rocks in glass. Here's one of my favorites with a solid chunk of aventurine and a tainted green base. If you're in the market for some of these oddballs, check out Rick's Marble 16 EBR on eBay. You never know what he's got up for sale. There's a few peewees, right? Peewee cats you got there?
Right, and word has it that Bogard had a peewee machine, and Heaton had a peewee machine, one or the other, and they ended up trading it to Marble King for a gem machine. So the peewee machine went to Marble King. There were a lot of Marble King marbles in Vitro and Master, and on the
good mix of different companies represented in the ground.
Yes, and Bogard and Heaton, they did a lot of packaging for other marble companies and bought them. Like these marbles, they never made anything of this kind of size. I mean, here are Paul Bunyan's called Cat Eyes.
So they were packing them there.
Yeah. Over here. Oh yeah, just some more.
Yeah, and you've got those Halloween types hidden in here too.
Yep.
Do you have an idea of the date on the Mountain Shooter packaging?
Could have been 70s because he didn't make cat eyes very long. He got frustrated. I think he made these for about 4.5 cents, and he couldn't get 5 cents.
Yeah.
wholesale for it.
So before long, he was switching over to industrial
just
marbles.
industrials. And these are the last marbles that he was making. This is his second factory outside of Cairo, and it was basically a cow shed. And he had his machine set up, and these were just scattered over the ground. And all he was making at that point was industrials, because he had established a market for industrial marbles. You know, the paint cans used to use
steel before,
ball bearings, and they were rust.
Yeah.
So Jack went all around the country convincing
that was Jack that did that.
Yeah. You know, all around the country convincing them to use marbles instead. And he really
He's the one who broke into that industry. And then,
yes.
I mean, Vitro started doing it, and Marble King too.
Everybody.
Well, thank you, David, for sharing the Bogard Heaton Cat's Eye knowledge.
Yep, this has been
Appreciate
great. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for getting it out there. And really, if anybody has questions, they can write either of us.
If you like this video, please give it a like. And thank you for watching Vintage Machine Made Marbles.